Yeah. Ooh, a little off center here. There's the road trip. Here's the happiness. Let's hang out over here, shall we? The road trip to happiness. Oh, good morning, everybody. Yeah, it took me a smidge to get going here. I was having trouble figuring out which button to push on TikTok to get this party started. So good morning. Yay, larger font for the comments. Larger font, less of my face. Always good. People. Cheryl, Becky, Omar. Nice to see y'all. Hope you had a good weekend. I had a good weekend myself. I had an extra fun weekend. So much so that yesterday I had to recover. So Coffee and Calm, nice to see you. And Abbott Elementary. They call it elementary. It's obviously one of those Schoolhouse Rock things that's going through my head. Hopefully you can see and hear me okay. There we go. Becky, you got the rain and pit in the Berg coming this way. Yeah, I got to put away my patio furniture, at least the cushions, today. I got to do that. Laura Gibbon Voorhees, nice to see you as well. Iowa girl. All sorts of people. I won't out everybody, but welcome. Happy Monday morning to you. Man, I had a fun weekend, but it takes me some time to recover. It does, but I'm a happy Monday and I'm glad to be back in the swing of things. I'll just share with you guys, if I didn't have some structure in my life, I would spend the whole freaking day in bed. Now, sometimes that can feel good, but I know it would cross the line to feeling like, oh, now I can't get out of bed. So thank you for helping me get out of bed this morning. Chunking it down under the category of chunking it down. I took a walk. It was a short walk because I stayed in bed later than I normally do, and that's okay. But I chunked it down and I said a 10-minute walk is better than a no-minute walk because it's good to get your body moving. Right? We get each other out of bed. There we go. Laura G. V. Ooh, still too hot in the hot tub. So here's a fun thing, a little bit about what's going on in my personal life, actually, just because I think you might find it fun, and you may want to look for something like this near you. This Saturday, what did I even do Friday night? I don't even remember. But this past Saturday, I attended what was called a Roper Romp. Now, it is a celebration of Mrs. Roper from Three's Company. I will be honest, I don't know the true derivation. I tend to believe, this is just my opinion, that it has the origins of the kind of the We Do Not Care Club, like celebrating somebody that you may have used to make fun of back in the day, and then you realize, perhaps in hindsight, how cool she was. Anyhow, I dressed up in a caftan, I put on a red wig, a friend of mine came down from New York, we played bingo, we did karaoke, we had cocktails. It was wicked fun. You may see me in the background of some pictures that are being shown on social media, and I have a few posted on my own social medias. Not here, because I don't know about TikTok. But anyhow, I had a wicked lot of fun. And then I did need to fill my tank after that. German Maid says, we need a pic of you. Okay, I'll offer this. I don't know if I'm going to post them, but if any of you are on Instagram, okay, because I think Instagram is public. I'm not sure about my Facebook. I posted some pictures on my Instagram, and it's not at Destination Decluttered. It's under Maud Betty, so you can find there. Yes, Mrs. Roper was cool. After all, she had room in her heart for Stanley. Yeah, I think it would be very interesting. I haven't watched Three's Company since, like, I stayed up past 9 o'clock, in the 70s, maybe early 80s. But it would be interesting to see it from fresh eyes. But regardless, it's good. Joy is power. There's power in having fun. It recalibrates you. But much like I say to you guys, we need to chunk things down and spend some time to recover. I needed to recover, and so I was okay with that. Yeah. Alrighty, so that's me. I hope you had a wonderful weekend too. Kat Roby says, scheduled Beth Blinders. Walk with me, then laundry and tidy the kitchen. I would love to walk with you. I am team morning walk. It is so good to get your blood moving. Even walking from room to room is always going to be better than stagnant pooling, blood. So yay. Hey, there we go. Linda Archer. Yay, let's all be excited for Linda because she's excited, not to tell me, but thank you for telling me. Linda got her bathroom organized and her kitchen. Now she's going to, like the linebacker she is, she's going to tackle the pantry. Yeah. Okay. All right. So German maid. Okay. You just looked. Yes, that was me. And there was a whole bunch of other, we literally had like 1,500. They call them Helens, because of Helen, there we go. Yes. Lots of Mod Betty on Insta. Oh, MODBETTY. Yeah. I used to do a lot more posting there when I was doing my road tripping stuff. I don't much anymore. I'm getting into my more private era of my life, but that was too fun to not share rather. Yeah. Anywho, so it is so funny though to see me with the makeup and the wig, and then go back to my regular old self. Yeah. In any case, how you doing this Monday? How are you feeling physically? I literally was doing this last. In any case, how you doing this Monday? How are you feeling physically? I literally was doing this last night because I wasn't feeling 100%. And I did the scan from the crown on down. And there was I was like, that doesn't feel good. And so I did something about it. Now I'm glad to see that while I am still a little bit tired, it's kind of a gloomy day here, I'm feeling much better than I was. Now, better is a wonderful word. I want you to think about better versus perfect. I don't feel perfect. No, I don't need to feel perfect to do something. I don't need to be perfect to do anything. Certain things you do, brain surgery, playing the piano, that type of thing. Feeling good is just fine. Feeling okay is fine. Feeling better is better. So if you're not feeling good this morning, take a scan. Even just seeing, how do I feel? Reconnect with your body and be like, all right, how's everybody doing here? And I still have a little bit of a, hey, I'm light red here as opposed to honking red. So, okay, I'll note that. But feel better physically. Yes, Laura Gibbon Voorhees, I will share this with you. Physically, I feel great, but political and world things have me. And you know what the political and world things have you? It has you in the nervous system. That's where we can get thrown off whack. We may feel fine physically, but then we start thinking about things and they start to make us feel a certain way. When we see something and it triggers a feeling. So Laura, you are not alone in that. So this is one of the things that I think is so important about all of us getting together to learn how to declutter our homes. Yeah. But really it is being aware of the interplay between what you see clutter-wise or world-wise, what you hear, what your sensory inputs and how they trigger your nervous system. And I'm just going to offer to you, I think it is super important to recognize that so you're not in overwhelm and deer in the headlights and shutting down, because we will not change the things we don't like about our homes or the country. We cannot change that if we give up, if we just sit there, things like that. So I get it. You know what I mean? So I am there with you. And what I want to offer to you is, it's kind of the same thing. It really is. It's recognizing what you don't like and doing something. Action, as what's her name said, Alicia Bridges, no, whatever her name. I like to boogie. Action is what we're all about. Okay? You can control you and around you. And Laura Gibbon Voorhees, the around you also. I call this the positive ripple effect. Okay? So I offer to you, it's a positive ripple effect. So seriously, this will help your decluttering of your home. And this will help you in everyday life in the planet. Is to really recognize, whoa, when I'm not feeling good, when I see things that upset me and I stay there, I am not feeling good for myself or others. However, when I notice that stuff and I notice that I can do something to change how I'm feeling, when I do that thing, because now you have a choice. I can stay there stuck and overwhelmed, or I can do something to change it. Well, now it's up to you to do something to change it. And I offer it to you. So in the next step of what we tend to do is check in physically, I'm good. Mentally, I'm kind of all over the place. I'm a mess. I'm overwhelmed. Okay. This is when you calm down, you slow down, maybe you drink down some water, you sit down, maybe you put your feet on the ground and you go walking downtown. You do things to reset your nervous system, to get out of the fight or flight and into, if somebody knows who sang that I like the nightlife, I get to boogie song, I feel like it's Alicia something, but I could be wrong. You got to get into action, okay? And it can be modest, small action. But when you learn to stop being stuck and start getting started, you can use that skill everywhere in your world, okay? Yeah. So I just offer to you, it's good to take a 5-day news break because this is the thing. The people who give you the news want to keep your attention because then you're there for when the commercials come, and the people who are creating the news want to get you in a constant state of overwhelm so that you're paralyzed and you feel like you can't do anything, because if you feel like you can't do anything, you won't do anything. Okay? So good for taking a news break. Do something to make yourself feel better. You don't need to be perfect. And then we're back at it. We're decluttering our homes. We are saying, I can do something to change what I don't like. All right. Yeah. And Linda Archer, honestly, this is a great thing. I turned off the TV and my social media to de-stress and focus more on decluttering. And look what you did. You spent a lot of time in your house saying, what do I like and what I want to keep and what do I not like and want to get rid of? And that's exactly what is going to be happening. That should be happening right now. Do you have a local election going on? Now, I know this isn't decluttering, but it is. If you see people in office you don't like, you can do something to get people in office you like better. I'm not saying perfect. I'm saying better than what's there. What can I do to change what I don't like? You can do something. Okay? Hey, this is great. Kara has 6 laptops in the car to drop off at Best Buy. I removed the hard drives yesterday. Yay. Yeah. Okay, Esther says, after 3 years, 2 babies, back-to-back, 2 moves, mental health crisis, I had a lot of clutter. 2 weeks ago, my mother-in-law came and stayed with me and decluttered for the whole place. That's awesome. What a nice person. I hope she did it with love in her heart for you. Decluttering is something that many of us I have learned that that's kind of my love language for people. When I don't know what else to do, I can at least help you organize your stuff. Now, what I will say is that I can't truly help you declutter. Decluttering means decision-making of what you want and what you don't want. But even getting things organized so you can move around your house, categorized so you can see what you have, those are steps that are into the decluttering. So lovely. Yeah, and sometimes there's nothing wrong with asking for and graciously receiving help that's going to get you to where you want anyway. You know? Now, Esther says there was actually a lot of pain and tears, but today I feel so much more free and happy. Yes, and even when somebody else doesn't come and kind of declutter at you, with you, for you, you will feel some feelings when you declutter. Yeah. You will feel some feelings, and it's okay to feel feelings. Feel them. They only last about 90 seconds. They kind of like a wave. They go whoosh. Feeling the feelings, but then kind of the longer term feeling. And one of the reasons I show up as Beth, a decluttering life coach, Destination Decluttered, who, by the way, we have a decluttering party happening immediately after this TikTok live at 9:00 Eastern. What I want to offer to you is feeling the feelings, but deciding how you want to feel more long-term. Your short-term feelings might be pain and difficulty, but then saying, and this is why I call my coaching Destination Decluttered, what am I aiming for? And that more long-term, everybody knows we've all done something that you don't see immediate gratification, and it may be painful in the moment, but then compounding over a longer stretch of time, you get what you want at a long term. So, yeah. Now, I love this. Linda, that's great. As I declutter, I put the boxes, it says I feel the boxes in my driveway so family can take what they want and the rest goes. Yes, so notice how it's making it easier for you and pay attention to all of this. We can all learn something from everybody. How to be, how not to be, how to speak to people, how not to speak to people, how to act, how not to act. But notice that one of the things that can help you more easily release an item that you don't want can be the idea of, I don't need it, I don't want it, even though it's so good, it could help somebody else. Yeah. So think about that. Start to plan today. If you were decluttering, where is a place you feel good about dropping off your stuff? Now, Kara's going to this is funny actually, a little disclaimer here. Kara's dropping her computers off at Best Buy. I worked for Best Buy once. One of the most miserable times of my life, I will share with you. But I love that you're bringing those things to Best Buy. I would do that too, because you know that they are going to, what do you call them? They're going to recycle them. They're going to take good care of those things. They're not going to put it in a dumpster. So notice when you have a choice, which choice is going to be easy and make you feel good about how you're getting rid of something. Do not get stuck in perfect. Perfection will jam up the works for everybody. Okay? And feeling good about where your stuff is going can help you get your stuff there. Okay? Yeah. And Leslie, this is great. Appreciate your advice that I don't need the thing to remember the memory. Now, I redid this because I crumpled up the last one, but think about this, everybody, just in case you weren't here when I was playing around with this idea. Okay? So here's a thing. This is how decluttering works, okay? This is really the basics. Your house is full of things. You pick a thing, and a thing probably has a story. Now, the story about the thing that you've attached to it can be short, can be long. It can be, I bought this at Target on sale. It can be, I found it in a box on the side of the road. I stole this from a diner. I got this when I was on vacation. You have stories about every single thing in your house. Now, the stories are what's important to you, but the item is what triggers the Hallmark card, like, you know, those cards that you open up and it immediately starts to play a song. That's what happens pretty much in your brain when you look at an item. Test it out. Look around your house and say, okay, what's the story behind that? And sometimes they're really boring stories. It's like, oh yeah, I got that online because I thought I was going to use it for my back and I don't use it for my back anymore. Okay, notice. Other things can be like, this is when I was in Ireland with my mom and my sisters, and we went to the place, and all they sold was wool, and I'm allergic to wool. You know, it can be a story. You can remove, if it is a thing, there's a story. You've attached the story like a Post-it. Decluttering allows you to simply notice the thing and the story are two different things, and then you can decide whether you want to keep the thing in the story, which, as you notice, I have done. Am I using it as a mug to sip my coffee, my tea out of? No. I use it for my my markers here. But I made a conscious decision to keep it and use it for something. So you can also detach the story, keep the story. I still love my mom, even though I didn't keep the mug that I bought when we were on vacation. And then you might more easily be able to put this in a box and donate it somewhere, okay? Because the story does live in your heart. It's not in the thing. So if you learn the art of detachment, okay? Yeah. Now, isn't this good? Linda Archer, I love this too because you're noticing the real reason why we're decluttering. Now, everybody, the real reason why we're decluttering is not on the off chance that Martha Stewart knocks on your door and says, let me see your house. No. The real reason we're decluttering is to feel better than we do now in our homes. Linda is saying, notice this, after I declutter, I leave the house, and when I come back home, I feel free. I'm feeling free. Free. How would you describe that? You know? Yeah, and Mimi 122221, does anybody else have an enormous amount of clothes? Ugh, yeah, they do. They do. Many people do. Many people have attached a story to their to items of their clothing. Okay. So, you're not alone. Everybody here and many, 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 many more people struggle with clutter, struggle with the concept of too much. I have too much clothes. I have too many pieces of clothes. Notice that association, and this is where I'm going to get a little bit global here. Many people who grew up with not a lot thinks the opposite, too much, is going to make them feel better. Okay, so imagine eating, okay? You are hungry, you're starving. You didn't grow up with a lot, you're hungry, so your stomach is cramping and whatever. So then when you get the opportunity to eat some food, you eat and you feel better. And then you keep on thinking, oh, if the more I eat, the better I'll feel. This is about making money, okay? The more I get, the more I buy, the better I will feel. What we never realize until kind of too late is there is an invisible line, kind of a set point of this feels good. Anything above this is not going to give me the bang for the buck I want it to. So notice that about enormous amounts of clothing. Notice that about too much, air quotes, but quotes, too much of anything will not give you the good feeling that you do when you're just right. Think about this when you're eating food. Has anybody here overindulged, eaten way too much of something really good because if you thought, well, if a little bit more, a lot's great, and then you're like, oh, why did I do that? Why did I eat too much bacon? Why did I eat that, and that entire pint of ice cream when a few spoonfuls felt good? And I offer to you, it is something we didn't get taught, so it's really hard to learn. But you can, or it's hard if you weren't taught it. It may be an abstract concept, okay? And everybody, I love it, Kara. Yep. Linda says I told him please stop purchasing clothes and save the money, and we'll go on trips. Everybody's got their own story about clutter. Everybody sees we are sold the bill of goods. We are sold the story that more things will make you happier. That the right pair of pants, the right dress, the right purse, the right jewelry, the right makeup, the right product somebody's making money selling to you is going to make you feel healed, better. We all fall victim to this. We all want to believe that I can just buy something and it's going to make me feel better. Short term, it might. But you all know this. I know it myself. That kind of sugar spike of, wee, I bought it. Yeah, I have it. And then it kind of is like, okay, now I just have another dress in my closet. It's all good. Again, there's nothing wrong with anybody who's doing this. I'm here to help you just be aware of the story behind why you bought the thing, why you got the thing, and see if that is something you can learn from, and see if it's going to increase the likelihood of you feeling good about keeping it or feeling good about letting it go. Now, Linda is saying, I told him to please stop purchasing clothes. So many of us live with other people. Many of us have other people, even if you don't live together. Parents, children, friends, neighbors. You see this playing out in yourself and the people around you. So being aware of why you do something can really give you the option to say, okay, I get why I do it. Do I want to continue doing it? Or do I want to stop it and try something else? And I'm here for the people who are kind of getting that and say, I want to stop what I'm doing because it hasn't worked out. I'm feeling not good about all the clothes in my closet when initially I thought I'd feel great having all these clothes. And now it feels like too much, too many decisions. I don't like to make too many decisions. I don't know about you guys. I get decision fatigue much more quickly than I've done before. And it becomes no fun to have too much stuff to pick from. I like a few items. So that makes me feel better. To know that what I have is something I can eat. Yeah. So I offer to you. Notice what you do. Be what's the word I want to use? Courageous. Be brave enough to figure out why you do what you do. And then make a decision from there. Okay? Now, Faith, I want to help you with this. I love this. I have a running list in my head of what's going to go soon. I have kids' toys constantly purging. What I will help you with, and Penny Luck-Myers is saying decision fatigue is so real. I don't know how old you are, but you said little kids, things, so you're probably younger than me. I will share with you. Your brain is going to get tired as you get older. Get in the habit now, Faith and everybody. Remember I talked about scanning your body to feel better physically and then calming down your nervous system to feel better? Another way you can help your broad body and your brain to feel better is to write stuff down. Anybody right now who has a running list, if you have a list in your head, pick up your pen and write it down right now. It will make your brain feel better because your brain is having to use its brain energy to be, don't forget, remember to do this, remember to do this, remember to do this, blah, blah. It's exhausting. Okay? And it gets worse as you get older. That's why I love having a much more simplified home, an easier place that's not too much, it's not too little, it's just right. Welcome to the Three Bears. Good morning, Erin. Nice to see you. Oh, you're the Mimi. Okay. Faith, you're the Mimi. Okay, I love it. Still, then you probably are in the zone that we are, where it would help you to write these things down. Mary is asking if I do a live every day. Pretty much, but not all the time. And the reason I say that is I have a flexible schedule, but I share this with you. I share my flexible schedule with you. If you are part of the Destination Decluttered, which is the name of my coaching, if you want to sign up for my free mailing list, which I definitely don't spam you. I don't try to sell you a damn thing, and I don't spam you. But joining the mailing list just gives me an opportunity to then share with you the schedule of when I do my lives. And so if you want to do that, destinationdecluttered.com is my website. Scroll down to the bottom of the page, put in your email address, hit I'm not a robot, and you're all set. There we go. Mailing list equals scheduled Beth Blinders. I love it. Yes, because you can schedule these things. Okay? Yeah. Now, Kim is asking how to help a son and daughter-in-law declutter. And I'll share with you, Kim, I think the best thing to do is learn how to do it on your own. When you learn how to do something well on your own, you are going to be in much better position to help somebody else. So if you struggle with clutter, you might want to learn how to do that. Now, on the other side, let's say you're good with decluttering. You are one of those people who it becomes easy for you. It's easy for you to let go of stuff. I say to anybody who wants to help somebody they care about who's struggling with clutter, patience, non-judgment. Patience and non-judgment and working at a pace that works for them. Don't do it at them. I've done this before in my previous life. When you know better, you do better. But I used to do it thinking it was a good thing. Like, ta-da, look what I did. And it threw their nervous system in a tiz. So I don't recommend surprising anybody with that type of thing. Work with them, okay? So I know those are very vague, broad topics, but there's some depth in them. Don't judge them. Don't be like, you don't need this. Why do you have so much stuff? That's not going to help, you know? So that's how you can help. Now I'm just going to back up here because I think there's a thing. Kara's giving away some good stuff. I love it. Yeah, Linda Archer's offering to get my clothing high. I just go to try them on in the dressing room and then decide if I need it. See, that's the problem. That's the thing with me. I used to not like trying on clothing. So I would buy it and bring it home and then do it, but then I'd have to return it. But yeah, and sometimes, so I would say to anybody here, if you want to get a high from your clothing, don't go out and do that. Try on the clothes in your closet. If they don't make you feel good, maybe those are the things that you want to put in a bag to give to somebody else. And Sandy View, yeah, you did the classic. This is like the 80-20 rule. We have like 100% of our clothing. We wear 20% of our clothes 80% of the time. And if you guys have ever seen my Destination Decluttered YouTube channel, where the recordings of these TikTok lives and YouTube lives are, you'll see I wear pretty much a riff on the same damn thing every day. But I love it. I don't want to figure out what to wear. Now, it was fun on Saturday when I was trying to figure out what to wear when I was going to the Roper Romp and what caftan and jewelry. That was fun. But I don't want to have to be using my precious My precious decision-making energy that is so finite. I don't want to waste a droplet of it on something that is inconsequential. Okay? Yeah. Yep. Now, Linda, I will offer this to you. Again, I tend to be a person who always is trying to make a system and a process even better, even creating a system and a process. So when, Linda, you say, this is true, keeping notes, even sticky notes helps. I'm 58 and it makes a difference. What I want to share with you that makes even more of a difference for me is having one singular sensation, every little step. We were singing that on Saturday. It was funny. Having one, like, notebook, having one location for you to write down those things. The reason I say this is I've been in cluttered homes that have sticky notes a lot of places, and then sometimes the sticky notes adds to the visual clutter, and that can also get overwhelming to see them all at once. Even if you want to use your sticky notes, I use sticky notes, right? Write it on a sticky note, put it in the book so that you train your brain to go to that book or maybe that list on your computer, that one location to go find what you need. And that idea of having something in a location that you know where it is also training your brain to help with your clutter. Because a lot of clutter is stuff where you're like, I don't know where it goes. I don't have it. What do I do with it? So I just offer that. Yay. And yay, Linda, I enjoy the mailing list so much, and I look forward to the lives. I love that. Thank you for letting me know. All righty. Yes, getting rid gets a high as well. It really does. I have stuff that is piling up in the car, and I'm loving this. Stuff that is piling up in the car to go donate tomorrow. And it's even just stuff that, my husband has gotten so much better at this. Clothing, he was packing for his trip, and there were a few pieces that he didn't want, and it's more easy to do it, not hanging on to it just in case and never wearing it. Yeah. Hey, can we all give Erin a round of applause and a pat on the back? I got my expense report done. She chunked it down into 4 different reports. I spent 3 hours Friday, 3 hours Saturday, 3 hours Sunday. Done. D-U-N, done. I know that's not how you spell done, but that's how I say it. D-O-N-E, done. I love it, Erin. I am so proud of you for not giving up on that. Just think of all the money you're going to get back now. That's awesome. And yay for you for not giving up. For you not giving up, but chunking down. Yeah. Now, I love that. So good, so good. Yay. Revel in that accomplishment. Tell yourself a story about this so that the next time your brain is going to go into default overwhelm, you say, wait a minute. Remember that personal story I have. Remember that time when I got my expense report done. How did I get there? I chunked it down. How could I chunk it down, this thing that I'm overwhelmed by? And chunking down for everybody, it's just a way of saying making things into smaller chunks. Like she didn't take 9 hours one day. She spent some time on Friday, some on Saturday, some on Sunday. And really, that's how you get that's how you get pretty much everything in the world. If you examine your processes, which I often do, because I'm wired like that, you will notice that everything is made up of little steps. Every little step I take, we will be there. Yeah, and faith. Okay, so Sandy View. This is again going back to the story attached to an item. Do I have a piece? Okay, pretend this is a piece of clothing. It's now one of those t-shirt quilts, okay? This is a piece of clothing. It's just a t-shirt, right? But you have a story about it that reminds us of weight gain. I can't fit into this t-shirt comfortably because I have gained weight. And that story makes you feel a feeling. The words in your head, a story, make you feel a feeling in your heart or your nervous system. And when you tell a story that feels a feeling, that determines what you do or not. You may keep the clothing because you may say, I'm going to lose weight someday and I'm going to wear it again. Or you may say, you know what, I'm never going to fit into that and it's okay to let it go. But notice that you're telling yourself a story But you can also change the story. Okay? Yeah. Yay. Yay for shopping in your closet. Linda, I love that. I have things there that I forgot about. Yeah, this is really silly. I am going to a wedding at the end of October. And I thought about, because I have very little in my clothing, my closet now, which is fine. But the neat thing was, is I realized, ooh, I could buy a new dress for that. This could be fun. And so then I was like, I could use this as a reason to buy a new dress. And I may still. But then I realized as I looked in, I'm like, you know what? I also could wear that dress I bought in Chicago. Now that I know that it doesn't have to be a long dress, it can be a regular length dress. So you can shop, you can remember things you forgot about. Okay? Yay, good stuff. Yay, Lake Life Lady decluttered her coat closet in 2 hours. Loving this. Yeah, so this is, my name is Beth DuBlaise. I'm a decluttering life coach. And my coaching is called Destination Decluttered. If you notice behind me, we've kind of got this little thing on the wall that's like a road trip dealy, because that's the metaphor I tend to use. Okay, and I show up, I do TikTok lives and YouTube lives almost every day. We also do these things called declutter parties where we all get on Zoom and then we all declutter at the same time with somebody else, kind of like a little working session so you don't feel like you're not alone. I do one-on-one coaching. But the main thing I do most often that's public facing besides is these TikTok lives and YouTube lives. I show up at different times of the day on different days of the week, and every week it's a different schedule. So if you're interested, if you like this and you're like, hey, this is kind of fun, consider joining the email group. The email group is just people who have said, here's my email address, just let me know when you're coming on. And I say, okay, I'm not gonna clutter up your email box, but I do have a page that is hidden from everybody else in the world, except for the people on the mailing list, that has the schedule for my YouTube lives and my TikTok lives. And you're welcome to join. DestinationDecluttered.com. Scroll down to the bottom of the page, put in your email address, and you're good to go. Okay. Here we go. Okay, Monk. Hey, a big problem for me is finding where to go with the things and the stuff. Where should I put this or that? Okay, so let me help you with this, Monk. And notice how a very general, I get you're sharing the concept. I want you to think of one particular thing that you have had this thought about. Where should I put this specific item? What I highly recommend, and this is from being in visual merchandising, this is from being in process engineering, and also being a creative person, is put the thing near where you use it. At least start with that. Like you wouldn't put your toothbrush in the living room. You'd probably put it in the bathroom. So think about where you can put it that's perhaps closer to where you use it, but also think of the frequency with which you use that item. My toothbrush I use every day. My stand mixer, not so much. So let's say, or, not even stand mixer. What would it be? Something in the, a straightening iron for my hair. I don't know, I'm making stuff up. My toothbrush should be easy for me to grab. The easier it is for you to get something, the more you'll use it. The straightening iron, maybe I only use it when I'm getting fancy on the holidays, like every few months. That could go on a shelf above, still in the area of where I would use it. So you can find a place to do it. So there are some ways to think about it. Okay? Yeah. Yes, exactly. And Erin, this is what you're finding out. I love it. Now that Erin spent 9 hours a weekend to do the expense report, she's going to chunk it down even further. I'll work on it weekly instead of one time a month. Chunk it down more so I don't need to spend 9 hours of the weekend. I am so psyched you did get your done, but now you say, you know what I could do? I could just do a little bit each day. I could do it by the end of the week. Part of my winding down from work week routine is to put all of my expenses from that week into a spreadsheet and then punch the clock and go out and play and go watch the Buffalo Bills play that sport, right? And then you don't have to spend 9 hours. This helped me. And as you make those plans with the freshness of realizing that the chunking down worked, but also saying, that was good, I'm glad I did it, but I don't want to do it that way the next time. I've done this with every year that I started to become a decluttering life coach, doing our taxes. And I've started to chunk it down like nobody's business. So last year, it felt weird. It felt different. It felt unusual that we just kind of did a little bit, did a little bit, did a little bit. It was done. Here you go. As opposed to ignore, fuck, stress and tenseness, and then getting it done. It felt unusual because I've always been nervous system freak out when it comes down to the doing the taxes. So I offer to you doing a little bit each time. It doesn't make you have peaks and valleys. It's a little bit more. It's instead of being a roller coaster. This is how I like to describe it. Anybody? Instead of being like a roller coaster, it's more like a merry-go-round. Like, yeah, I got to do this. Okay, as opposed to piling it up and saying I have to deal with it all before the 19th. Do it a little bit at the end of each week, or depending upon where your how often your thing is. Okay, but really, you guys, the 2 powerful things, the 3 maybe 4. No, think of the word down. Write this down, okay? Because this will be if you just write down these few things from what you learned from me today and you post it somewhere. It's really goofy. I'm not trying to subtly shift into a commercial, but I just think it's funny. I made a mug for myself that says pretty much the same thing that I was going to tell you. Okay. First, I would scan down to make sure your body is feeling good. Because if you're not feeling good, you don't have to feel perfect. But if you're not feeling well, many things are going to be more difficult to do. So scan from the crown on down. Scan your bod from the crown on down. So that's the down for your body. And then do something to make yourself feel better if you're not feeling good. I highly recommend drinking water, moving your body. Okay, so that's the first one. The second one is within your physical body is your nervous system. So this is where you need to say, how am I feeling emotionally, nervous system, whatever. Sometimes people are all up here and they're overwhelmed. We need to calm that down. Other times, people are like, oh my God, I'm so like this, and maybe you need to lie down, okay? So physical, nervous system. Nervous system, subset nervous system is calm down, slow down, breathe down, quiet down. Quieting down your environment helps calm down your nervous system. And here's a side note to that. Decluttering is a way of quieting down your visual surroundings. That will also give you peace of mind, calming down your nervous system. Okay? So think about that. Those were the 2 physicals, the calming down, the scanning down, the calming down. The next one is going to involve your physical body as well, which is your brain, your connection from your head to your hand, which is writing down the ideas in your head. Write down whatever's going on up here, write it down. I would say whatever comes up, write it down. Whatever's up here, write it down. I don't care if you're thinking, no, I got it up here. It's fine. I can remember it. Write it down anyway. It's going to save you that precious resource of decision-making or just brain energy. Write it down at a place you know you're going to look at it, and then don't just set it and forget it. We are not Ron Popeil here, okay, with the pocket fisherman or whatever. Write it down, and then we can organize your thoughts on paper. We can chunk it down, and then what we do is we start to create almost like a roadmap of how to get from here to your destination decluttered. It's going to be a mile at a time, a chunk at a time. Okay? So notice that. Scan down, calm down, write down, chunk down. If you just write down those things, I said slow down, breathe down, write down, chunk down. That was close enough. I'm a work in progress. Okay? So that should help you. If you want to actually put some of these in practice, and I will offer to you, okay? 15 minutes from now, at 9 o'clock, what are you doing from 9 a.m. till about 10:30 this morning? Now, I say 9 a.m. because I'm on the East Coast, but what are you doing for the next couple of hours? If your schedule allows, and you want to test out this theory, and you just want some company maybe where you're decluttering instead of feeling like I'm doing it all alone. Maybe you want it where there's like, somebody there you can ask questions when you get stuck. That's why we do these destination decluttering parties. We have a decluttering party. I think I just forgot to send out an email about that. I will have to sign off in a minute or two to do that. Oh no, I think I did it. Sorry, I'm talking to myself. It's all good. 9 o'clock a.m. until 10:30 this morning, we have a decluttering party. What's a decluttering party? It's people from the mailing list group. The only way you get access is to be on the list. If you're not a member, you don't get, okay? And that's just how I run my business because I want to keep out the trolls. I only want to offer what I offer to people who are interested in it, okay? And so what I offer is we're going to be doing a decluttering party. It's all of us get a Zoom link. We sign up to Zoom. And we put these things into practice. We chunk it down. We get some work. We learn how to start and stop and then start again and learn from what we did. And by the end of an hour and a half, you'll be surprised not only at what you got done, but also that you have embodied, you have practiced using this system in a way that truly benefits you because you're starting to get it, you're practicing it, and your home is going to look and feel better. Okay? So I offer this to you. If you're interested and you are on the email list, you can go to the secret page and join and get your ticket. If you're not on the email group list, destinationdecluttered.com, just scroll down to the bottom of my homepage, put in your email address, join the club, you're all set. I see a couple of people have done that already. Okay, and we're going to be doing that in about 13 or so minutes. So take a look at your schedule today. I know not everybody can do it, but I do it when I'm able to show up to do them. I will say this was going to be our last decluttering party of the month because it's already Monday, September 22nd. There will be one next Monday, same bat time, same bat channel. I have to check. Okay. So again, you have the knowledge. You get to see when the decluttering parties are. Oh, tomorrow night too, we have the Pen Pal Zoom party. I should send out an email. I'm going to send out an email to everybody tonight, just reminding them this goes. Mail Pen Pal Club, which is going to be another Zoom that we do to get people to meet each other. Okay. But again, this is not just open to everybody. It's open to people who say, here's my email address. I want to receive communication from you. And that's the email group. And this is basically to just keep out the haters. Okay. So if it's something that sounds interesting to you, it's available. All right. So we've got about 12 more minutes here, maybe 11, because I should sign off to shift gears, put on my hostess party hat. I don't want to get too deep into it because we don't have too much time left. But what are you stuck with clutter-wise? What main category of stuff in your house would you say is like the number one thing that you have kind of way too much of? Too much of whatever. Is it clothing? Is it mugs? Is it kitchen items? Is it garage stuff? Shoes, perhaps? I don't know. Paperwork. Yeah, Allie Peppers. Paperwork. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about paperwork. First person who speaks gets the microphone. Okay, clothing and kids' toys. Okay. Clothes, sentimental, and seasonal. Okay. Farm girl, you know this, sentimental. So there's 3 layers of clutter. There's surface clutter, there's stored clutter, and there's sentimental clutter, okay? We are going to, just for the sake of time today, we're going to put the sentimental to the side because that's the deepest thing. Yeah. Carolyn Williams says, things I bought thinking I'd use it, but I might actually not use it. Yes, kids' memory stuff. Yeah, so that's sentimental. But let's start with a couple of things. We talked about clothing earlier. Paperwork and things you thought you would use. Okay, or just paperwork. I want to help you. Allie Peppers, everybody who has kind of too much paperwork. Think of this concept. Every single piece of paper that you have that you are keeping is proof of something. Paper equals proof. Okay? So with that idea, this can help you decide why you are saving some paper. This paper proves that I got married. This paper proves that My kids love me. This paper proves that I paid my bill. This paper proves that I don't owe a copay. This paper proves that we used that amount of electricity last month. Who do you need to prove this to? Okay? Who do you need to prove this to? Back in the day, and let's pull back and look at things in a little bit more of a bigger lens, not just you struggling with paper and it's you. Everybody I know struggles with paperwork. We are of a generation that grew up in a strictly paper world. So we were taught, and it was reinforced, to keep the paper just in case. Okay? And so I say to you, if that's what you learned back then, just check in with your 2025 life. Do you need to still keep that? Or is there a better way to do it that won't cause you the overwhelm of paper? Yeah. Now, do you need a receipt? Do I need a receipt when I get my hair cut? No, because I'm not going to return my haircut. You know? So I offer to you, look at the paperwork that jams you up, categorize it. Categorize it and say, do I really need to keep this? Now, I will say, even saying that, I'm not suggesting you go all digital, and I'm not going to force you on that. I have a certain process that works for me, and one of my processes is I still get my credit card statements in the mail. I open them up, and then I look at all the transactions. I ask my husband about them. Is this all legit? It looks good. And we have it set to auto pay. Getting those things in the mail makes me do a regular check-in with those things. I don't easily do that when it's online. I could. So I just offer just the baby steps of saying, here's a big pile of what I've saved. How could I put these in piles of the same thing? And why am I afraid to let it go? Because I know it's late in this thing, but what I want to offer to you before you leave too is everybody. Fear makes you hold on to things, and just get curious about that. I am afraid to let go of that because, and then fill in the blank. Okay? So notice this with kids stuff too. I'm afraid that, okay, this is what I found, and this may not be your exact same thing. A lot of people from my generation had their stuff thrown away without their permission. That their mom, one day you came home and all your toys were gone and your mom threw away all your stuff, and that felt like being out of control. You didn't like that feeling, so you are the mom or the grandmom or the grandparent or the parent or whomever who doesn't want to be that mean type of person, but you're erring on the side of the other side where it's you're keeping everything, and keeping everything is overwhelming to you and to the kid. What I say with kid stuff is, please, you may be saving them for you. You are also kind of maybe saving them for them and their grandkids. Pictures of, oh, this is what little, Jimmy, your dad, drew a picture of a baseball player. And I have that picture, that connection to that. What I say is get the other people involved in the decluttering. Do they still want that? Or could you, as somebody said, take a picture of it and then let it go? Get curious what your MO is. What's your reason for keeping it? And go a level deeper. Why is this important to me to keep it? Okay? Yeah. Becky says, same with our bills. Keep paperwork for 1 year and then shred. I do that with many things, but we go paperless on a lot, but not all of it. Yes, and yes, everything. And I will share this, Ellie Peppers. This is why I said I'm a decluttering life coach. And what I offer is, it's okay to hold on to anything you want. I'm not here to judge you. What I am here to just walk you through is the process of being more aware of what you do and why you do it, so you can make a conscious choice that makes you feel good. If fear is the fear holding on to something is different than the love and the courage of holding on to something. So notice where fear creeps in, and it's there all the time. Even Gina says, I think we keep those things because it brings us back the memories of it in that era. And you know what I call that, Gina? Yes, is fear of forgetting. The fear of forgetting that story Without the item, I lost my story. I lost my soup. Oh, there we go. You have the story, you have the item. You're afraid that they are stuck together. And it's okay, because our brains will forget stuff. Our brains will forget that we have that dress in our closet. It's okay. So it is fear of forgetting. That's okay. I just offer to you, there is another way to remember the story without keeping all the stuff. Now, again, I have plenty of I still have the memory of being over in Ireland with my mom and sisters. I made a Shutterfly book all those years ago. I have other evidence of that to remind me that I went there. Did I need to keep this? Technically, no. But I did, and that's okay. I feel good about the decision I made. And it's not coming from fear. It's coming from no, but I still like that. And I don't mind having souvenirs around. Okay? Yeah, and here's the funny thing, Gina. That's why for me it was taking a picture and putting it on my phone or in an album or several albums. And I just want to offer to you guys too. We do that, and how many times do we go back and look at our photos? Now, I'm not judging you, but I'm saying if you take the pictures, then, look back at it. Yeah, then I toss it. And sometimes even that one step can be easier, and then deleting the photo can be no big deal. Sharing the photo with somebody and then being able to let go of the photo because you've completed that connection. Think about the connection you want with your kids. This is what reminds me of my kids. Yes, and completely. Fear is never in the driver's seat, okay? So I know I use the metaphor of driving. So Allie, fear is never in the driver's seat. You, my dear, you and your best you are always in the driver's seat, but you can be heavily influenced by the fear in the back seat. Don't do that. You might forget. Don't do that. Then you're going to be just like your mother who threw away all your toys. Don't do that because you didn't have enough toys and now you're buying everything. Don't be like that kind of person. When you tune into your reasons, you can see where in the car it's coming from. It's always coming, the voice in your head, the way I oversimplify it, is coming from one of two places. You're just there, the driver, okay? You've got fear in the back seat, and you have love as your co-pilot. Love is in the passenger seat next to you. Courage, love and courage, your best you, the part inside you that just wants you to be happy and will do anything it freaking can to help you get that way. It's productive, it's encouraging, it's your best friend on a road trip who's just there to help you get whatever you want. They don't care. They are there to help you. And part of what we do here is recognize that kind of, triumvirate, the three places, the driver, the backseat driver, and the co-pilot, and interact with them. That the front seat can turn around and quiet down, can not get the back seat so fearful. Okay? Yeah. Now, Gina, you're right. The beauty is that digital is less clutter versus an actual heavy album. Oh, 100%. 100%. Yes. So, Jeanette, good morning. I'm part of your email, and I haven't received the email for your meeting. I will make sure, Jeanette, send me an email making sure that you're not blocked or something. Beth at Destination Decluttered. I just realized because I was getting in the zone, I have a party to do. We get some party people in the house, okay? I'll see you guys later. If you want to know when, sign up destinationdecluttered.com. Scroll to the bottom of the page. Be invited to parties. It's wicked fun, all right? Have a good day, everybody.